A very warm welcome to the Art Vlog Art Lovers with me, George Dopamine. You join me outside Serpentine North, where I'm about to go into the exhibition by Refik Anadol, which is entitled Echoes of the Earth, Living Archive. Anadol is one of the most well-known AI artists in the world exhibiting in public spaces, and because the Art Vlog is a channel which takes you to museums and galleries across London, the South East and beyond in search of good art, I really wanted to cover this show because so much of artificial intelligence is found online. There are loads of apps which you can experiment if you just Google AI art generator, and they produce varying standards of art, often from text or commands. But we're really interested in what the effect of AI is going to be on art galleries across the world. Is it going to take over from purely human-based art? We will see. So once I've taken you inside the exhibition and we've explored it, that is certainly something I want to discuss as I review this show and review the prospects for AI in the wider art world more generally. I won't necessarily be covering the impact of AI online, because there are loads of good YouTube videos about that already, and I'll post a couple of links from two of my favourites, along with a really good article from the New Yorker which explores this really interesting idea. I should say that Refik Anadol has become especially well known since his piece in the foyer of MoMA in New York entitled Unsupervised. I would love to have gone to this piece of AI art, and if any of you American viewers did go, please post in the comments what it was like. From what I've read, Anadol basically fed a vast metadata of MoMA's archive of over 150 years of art history and 140,000 pieces into artificial intelligence programs, and this produced the work Unsupervised, which apparently, from people who have been or that I've heard about, produced the uncanny mix of some really iconic works and things which were totally new, as the machine mashed up and digested and marinated this work and then put it forward in the foyer in this vast piece. I have to say it was an incredibly popular piece, as has Echoes of the Earth Living Archive at the Serpentine. And I should warn you, this is a turn up and for free. It's a free exhibition, but you can pre-book tickets. At weekends, the pre-booked tickets have sold out. I think for the whole run. Certainly I tried to get some, which is why I've hot-footed it here after work. As you can see, it's kind of dusk. It's on until the 7th of April, and if you do want to turn up at the weekend, be prepared to queue for up to an hour, because there are many art lovers who are really intrigued by the AI revolution that's going on in art. And this is kind of like the first big major exhibition in a public gallery by Refik Anadol in Britain, and so it's going to be really interesting to see. What I'm going to do is explain a little bit about the work, show you some highlights, and then share my thoughts on both this exhibition here at the Serpentine North and also the wider prospects for artificial intelligence in our art galleries and our art exhibitions across London, the South East and the rest of the UK. So do come and join me as we head inside to explore this Refik Anadol show here at Serpentine North and ponder how machines can produce art, and is it worth watching? Come and join me as we head inside. Refik Anadol is an artist who uses big data and feeds it into AI models to see what happens when machines respond in dreams and hallucinations. The large nature model is an artificial intelligence model dedicated to nature. It builds on open source large language models like ChatGPT. But whereas, as Anadol explains, these models focus on human intelligence, the large nature model has been specifically built to focus on the intelligence of nature, something Anadol calls the most important and intelligent system that we have. Data can mean temperature data, humidity data, brain data, text, as well as over 500 million images taken from such huge institutions as the Natural History Museum in London, the Smithsonian, the Cornell Library, National Geographic and other sources. This data is fed into a specifically built AI algorithm, and what we see on the perimeter walls of the Serpentine are AI simulations of the world's rainforests built from this data that Anadol and his team have carefully fed the AI model. It is a really interesting and sometimes overwhelming vision, the sheer amount of data obviously far surpasses what any human being could work with. So the images that you see here are the AI model, the large nature model, responding to the data that has been fed into it. And as you can see, creating huge, almost hallucinatory variety of images that are kind of unique to this model. Artificial Reality's rainforest is situated in one of the gallery's historic powder rooms, and this is a sound and video experience which transport viewers to an AI's imagination of rainforests. Anadol and his team researched which AI algorithm, which AI model worked best. This astonishing work contains draws from 500 million images, as well as 70 years of sound recordings to produce a work which is probably one of Anadol's most ambitious yet. Artificial reality coral was created by training a custom-built AI model on approximately 135 million images of underwater landscapes openly accessible online to create a fully immersive installation. You can see here that it's on the ceiling of the second powder room at the Serpentine, and you're encouraged to lie back on a kind of beanbag strike and be totally immersed in this incredible installation. I really hope you enjoyed that exploration there of Refik Anadol's Echoes of the Earth living archive from Serpentine North in London, in Hyde Park. It was really great to be able to see a large-scale gallery installation of Refik Anadol's AI art, because I've read so much about it, from the piece in Davos to the piece in New York, and I was really chomping at the bit to see it with my own eyes. And I have to say, right from the off, I wasn't 100% sure what works were which is why, unusually for the art vlog, I have not actually labelled them. I've tried to narrate where I thought the works begun and ended, but ultimately they bled into each other, and that was part of the full immersive experience. And in terms of the highlights, I mean, first of all, Anadol is very interested in how AI can be used to enhance architecture. He has architects as part of his studio, and this was for me the best use of Serpentine North that I've seen. It was amazing the way that the perimeter walls had this really big, large nature model work, and then the powder rooms had more intimate work. So I thoroughly enjoyed that, and it's a really great use of the space, and it uses AI to enhance the space massively. And there was such a diverse range of people enjoying the work, families with small kids in buggies to older art lovers as well. And I really like that. Secondly, some of the works did have a tremendous mesmerizing power as the AI model used and marinated and produced its own vision of nature. Anadol calls these dreams or hallucinations. What would happen when a machine dreams of nature? And it's obviously having been fed all this data from some of the world's best archives of work on nature, like the Smithsonian and the Natural History Museum. It produced a really startling vision. And my favourite piece was, I think it's the coral one on the ceiling, where you're leaning back on beanbags and you're kind of taken into an absolute trance state. I could have stayed there for hours. I stayed there on the beanbag for about 20 minutes, just enjoying it, being immersed in it. It was at times surreal, at times quite psychedelic. So that was really special. And thirdly, I've done quite a bit of research into Anadol before filming this vlog, and I love his optimistic vision for AI and that he's such a self-conscious pioneer. His studio produced some of the most interesting AI work, training up models specifically to deal with or to respond to, the different challenges that they set them to produce art, in this case nature. And I got the impression, and I get the impression from what I read about Anadol, that this he recognises he's just at the start. Every piece of work becomes technologically more nuanced and more powerful as he's able to train up AI models and algorithms to a greater level of complexity. And so I thoroughly enjoyed the kind of sense of being at the start of something. Who knows where it would take us? I would say, with that in mind, it did feel we're very much at the start of something. I always have a question with AI art about, is it going to do more to me than just make me think, wow, a machine created that, or a machine developed this art? And really, Anadol wanted us to be touched in both our minds and souls, according to the Bloomberg Connects interview with him. And I was certainly piqued and touched in the mind. I was thinking all the time about how the machine was responding to the images to create its own images. I don't think yet it touched my soul. And I would say that, I found myself asking, would I be having a richer experience seeing human-produced photography of rainforests and coral reefs in a traditional art show, or would I be or am I getting more from the AI art? And I do think at the moment it would probably be the former, although that doesn't mean that I didn't find some of the work very, very beautiful and thought-provoking. I do think it's interesting that one of the things I love about art is you see so clearly often, even with good or bad artists, in my opinion, a really distinctive artistic vision. You go into a gallery where you don't know any of those. Oh, that's X, that's Y. And so, and I don't think that distinctive artistic vision is there. At the moment, it feels beautiful, but a bit superficial. I think some of the deeper messages surrounding climate change, for example, with the coral work, are not yet coming through in the art in a way that they are with human artists like Richard Moss. But that will obviously change. Anadol has plans to be able to recreate coral, to almost repopulate coral reefs, for example, where it's died as a result of warming sea levels. So warming sea temperatures, sorry. So this is very much feels as if it's at the beginning of a very exciting journey. Do I think that AI will be taking over art galleries across the world? Well, I think we're going to be seeing more and more of it. It's already sneaking in, but I don't think that we will lose that unique human vision which humans produce anytime soon. But it is exciting to see where this will go, and I'm waiting for the quantum leap, if you like, where I'm kind of stirred emotionally by something produced by a computer, as well as wowed by the technology. It hasn't happened yet, but I'm sure it's going to happen at some point. Yeah, so if you can get along, it's on till the 7th of April. I wanted to get it up before this week, Easter weekend, so you have about a week if you're watching this video to get along if you live in London. It is free. Warning, all the tickets, lots and lots of the tickets have sold out. You can get tickets to sort of skip the queue, and there have been reports of very long queues, so you might want to bear that in mind. But it is a really interesting sort of pioneer moment on the London art scene, one that I'm not totally convinced about yet, but I'm waiting with bated breath to see where this AI art journey will take us. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe to the art vlog. Do hit that notification bell, because then it pops up different videos as they come up. And most importantly of all, wherever you live in the world, don't forget to get out there and explore your local art scene. And I really look forward to seeing you again soon to take you to more art across London, the southeast of England and beyond.